One of my favorite sayings is if I knew then what I know now, what would I have done different? Right? I think that that's a saying that pretty much means you're open to wisdom, right? You're saying, okay, well, I made decisions before, and those decisions I wasn't a fan of. But now, if I had the information that I have today based on lived experience or studying or whatever, for whatever reason that now my information is different that I have today, I would have done it different back then, right? And I think I hear that a lot from renters who stay renters for a while and they almost have that conversation relevant to them thinking that prices at some point were going to get better, the market was going to get better, rates would get better, this would happen, that would happen, right? And all of a sudden 5 years slips by and they're still renting and they're like, oh, I made a plan to try to buy, or I made a goal to try to buy a house 4 years ago, and here I am still renting. It's because they didn't make a plan. And the information that they have now is, hey, real estate in the long run does pretty well. Prices stay pretty elevated. They kind of keep going, and my rent just keep going up, right? So the information that I have now that I wish I had 5 years ago was I wish I bought something 5 years ago, right? Because I would have been able to ride that roller coaster and I would have been paying down my mortgage for 5 years. I would have been, in a position where maybe the house I bought is worth more money, right? Like that, that's something that the old proverb of, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but if you didn't do that, the second best time was, yesterday, but if you didn't do that, just go plant a tree today, right? Like, yeah, you're not going to get the same shade that you would have got from the tree that you planted 20 years ago, but you didn't have the information that you needed. You didn't have the seed of knowledge and you didn't have the wherewithal to understand where to plant it and what to do and give yourself some grace there in that category of life and just go, all right, now that I know, what am I going to do about it? I think that's really the big thing is, like I said earlier, you had a goal to buy a house, but you didn't have a plan and you didn't start executing on that plan and talking to the right people and sharpening the pencil and budgeting things appropriately. You had a dream, but a dream without or a dream and a goal without a plan is just that, and it can actually turn into a nightmare, right? If that makes sense. So if you have a dream, buy a house, and you're looking at it like, now that I know that rent's just going to keep going up, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. What am I going to do with it? You can either be bitter or you could take action.